Front Row MMA. Here we are in Stockholm, Sweden, and we're fortunate enough to be joined once again by Dr. Neville. I don't care. Bad Mofo Jojo, Joanne Calderwood. Joe, first off, congratulations on the UFC debut win. That must have felt good.
Yeah, it was really good to get the win and to put the whole tough experience behind me. Now I only have to see all the girls if I'm fighting them, so I don't have to be in the same room as them, so that's always a good thing.
Did you find that experience? Would you do it again, given the opportunity, knowing what you know now? Is it too good an opportunity to turn down, or none? That wasn't for me.
I mean, it was a great opportunity, and I can take a lot of positives from it. But like, I didn't know they would be adding girls well after they got the cast announced. So I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know I had a choice. So, but I mean, I don't regret anything, and everything happens for a reason. And it wasn't the worst experience of my life, and I just need to remember the positives and forget the rest.
See, you've just set up the next question. What were some of the positives? What's going to be your lasting memory of that still makes you smile? I
mean, I know now that I'm on the right track. You know, I got to see the other girls firsthand. You know, I was living with them, training with them, and I know I'm the most dedicated, the most focused, and that's the top positive that I took away from it. The other positive was I'm in the right place. Obviously I'm training at the Dinky Ninjas, and I'm under great care with James Doolan. He's doing great things for me, and we work as a team, and it was good working with other people, but I know my home, where my home is, you know.
It seemed, it seemed you and Aisling Daly got along fairly well. Was it nice to have at least that one other sort of, I want to say UK, that's not fair to her because she's Irish, but it seemed that you two stayed away from a lot of the talk that went on in the house. Is that how it felt in there?
Should tell you off for the UK thing.
I know, it's Ireland. It's Ireland. Please, sorry, Bash, don't kill me.
At least you got her name right, though. Yeah. Bonus points. I got along with Ash, I got along with Alex Chambers and Randa, yeah. But you know, that was in the house, and we were on each other's team. They were also focused. They didn't get involved with any of the shit. So I was more. It was obvious that I was going to get along with them better, so that was the only reason. But now we're out the house, and we're like, if we see each other, it'll be like hi and that. But it's back to business, you know. You're back to your own family and friends. You're back to your own team. We're not BBFs or BFFs.
I didn't know what a BBF was, so I'm really glad you sorted that out. You know, you're back training with the Dinky Ninjas, you're back home, and you know there's a Scotland event now, Glasgow. You know how stoked, but it's a little ways away, so we'll break the questions up. First, how pleased are you that the UFC are finally coming home?
Us and like the team and that, we were just like, it's not going to come, you know. We were just kind of bypassing the questions and the hopes, and then it was better the way it turned out, because then it's more of a surprise to people, you know. I didn't want the UFC to come to Scotland based on not having a good card and just for the sake of it, you know. We want to put down a good show, and to be part of that as well, it'd be awesome. And you know what the Scotland crowd's like.
They're a hot crowd. They're going to rival the Irish for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be a good competition.
Put some McEwens in front of them. I think they might be all right.
So a free bar, please, Dana White.
Dana, free bar. Obviously, that card is 7 months away. Knowing you the way we do, 7 months, you don't want to sit out for 7 months just training. How feasibly, when would you like a fight? Perhaps is an opportunity to earn that #1 contender slot, so that they have to bring the champion to Scotland. Is that the plan? One and Glasgow, or are you willing to wait?
No, I wouldn't even wait 7 weeks. You know, never mind 7 months. Although you know, I'm under UFC now, so I have to do and say and fight when they say. So, I mean, I'm trying to, you know, I'm just in the gym. I love training anyway, but it's always good that you've got a bonus at the end of your kind of hard work. And for me, I like to challenge myself, and I look to the fight as the challenge. So hopefully I get something in the next few months, March, April, and then, I mean, I just need to keep winning, and if the title fight's there, then great, and even better if it was in Scotland. But
well, you know, they say those that don't ask don't get. So is it Mr. Shelby that you need to say, get me in for March? Get her in for, she wants it. Get her in for April or March so that the Scottish fans can really, really show their support. Carla's got a title defense coming up against Joanne Calderwood, and I'm sorry, Joe, I know I've killed that last name. What do you think of that fight? Because I think a lot of people were surprised that it was somebody from outside that tough series that got the first shot at it, although she is 2-0 in the division. Were you surprised about that announcement, and what do you think of that as a fight?
I wasn't surprised, you know. Just keep I don't like to think ahead, and because then if you're thinking, oh, you get disappointed easily. So just open mind and expect anything. But Joanna and Claudia, they're smart fighters, not going in that bloody house. But I think it's going to be a really interesting fight. It will be good to see. I know Joanna's a really good striker, so it'll be good to see what her striking comes into play with Carla's wrestling, you know, because Carla does wrestle really good, and she doesn't give up in that takedown. In the last fight with Claudia and Joanna, you seen Claudia kind of gassing a little bit, but Carla definitely doesn't. She's got a lot in the tank. So, I mean, it'll be an interesting fight, and I've been saying I hope Joanna wins because it would make a really exciting fight between me and her, and a striking. It would be a war, and it would be a good fight. But if it's for the title or if not, so if it happens for a reason, you know. So if she wins, then it'd be perfect if it was on Scotland. But we'll need to wait and see.
Who is gonna win that fight? I mean, I'll put you on. You know, as a fan or as somebody watching from the outside who's seen the skill sets, I think a lot of people are writing Joe off now. I think they're saying Carla's grappling is going to be too much. That's going to make the difference. Do you see Joe having a shot at landing a few shots on Carla and mixing it up?
Yeah, I do see her. Like, I mean, you've seen the fight with Beck and Carla for the Invicta. Beck took her to the decision, so I think Joanna could do the same with the striking, because Beck tried to keep it standing and stuff. So I think Joanna's takedown defence is a little bit better and are getting back to her feet. But I think as a fighter, I would say Carla's going to win. But I hope Joanna wins.
The Dinky Ninjas, you know, again, certainly within the UK, they're one of the more well-known fight teams. They've got, you know, at the local and even higher levels, that you've got talent from amateur all the way through to pro. I always ask you this question, but you're so loyal, you're so committed. Just what is it about that team and those people around you that bring out the best in you, as opposed to having to travel from place to place? There's got to be a reason you stay, because if it didn't work, I know you'd look to improve elsewhere. So what is it that keeps the Dinky Ninjas continuing to improve and not kind of finding a level that they can't get through?
They care about me as a person, and the way I train, and they see how committed I am, so they always try and help, and I've always got their support. And I mean, who can't feel this bond when these guys are right next to you, pushing you along and sweating and slavering and bogeys and blood and everything right next to you, you know. And the thing with my team, like James is bringing up this amateur, and they're going to be pros soon, and they're training just as much as the professionals, you know, so that dedication is rubbing off in these guys, and to see that and just watch them grow and to be next to them, and they're good guys, you know. Yeah, just awesome.
I'm going to make you a matchmaker here. You can put together any 4 fights you want in Glasgow. Joe Calderwood for the title against Joe or Carla. Who else would you like to see there representing Scotland? Because the UFC do have a habit of putting local fighters of a good level to help bring the crowd in. Who would you like to see on that card with you? And I know you're going to upset somebody by leaving them out, but give me 3 fighters that you think that's going to really win the crowd over.
Yeah, I know, because like we could probably put on 10 UFC cards, just being the Dinky Ninjas, but obviously you need to get Graham Turner in there, most experienced Scottish fighter, also the most exciting fighter, and Stevie Ray. He's really exciting, and I think those 2 for the now, and if we can make enough noise and make UFC come back to Scotland, we can see Martin Delaney and Alan Johnston, maybe even Dean Riley could come back after he's retired, and Paul McVeigh and James Dillon. Bring them back.
Do you think, tongue in cheek maybe, but do you think there's any chance that this opportunity might spur someone like Paul to say, I'll get in the cage a couple more times for that opportunity? Or in all seriousness, is because I know he's happy coaching, he seems happier as we've ever seen. He's got a little one running around. Is there any real chance that someone like McVeigh or James, who hasn't competed in a little while, is that realistic?
Nah, especially for Paul, he's not really taking much to do with the MMA side of things anymore. He's more kind of coaching and trying to run the Grip House more of a business, and as for James, he's far too busy with the MMA side of things. He's got so many fighters now, and I mean, James he's at the computer. If he's not at the computer researching, he's at the gym helping all these fighters. So he's just, I always say to him, you need to be selfish and take some time for yourself, but he's not that kind of guy and that kind of coach. He wants to do well for his fighters.
Joe, we always appreciate you spending some time with us, so a couple more questions and then we'll let you go. First off,
That 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, I know. Shut up. First, as a fan, the time is now. What fights have you thoroughly enjoyed since the beginning of the year? And is there any fights that, as a fan, you go, I can't wait to see those 2 throw down?
Like John Jones fight, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was, although like the whole thing with him coming out being getting fined and stuff, I really like his style, because he always kind of mixes it up and you don't really know what to expect, and that's kind of the way I like to fight and train as well. So I enjoyed that fight, and obviously this weekend as well, but next weekend, Anderson Silva, he's my favourite fighter, and I'm looking forward to Diaz, seeing what the style ups it's going to be. Can
Diaz, is Diaz in with a shout realistically? I mean, I'm not an expert and I'm never going to see him, so he won't be able to hit me, but I just see Anderson being too big, too strong. We'll throw in too much volume. I just don't see how Nick wins this fight. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's spot on, I would say, because he's not going to hit me either. So I'll just agree with you, because you could hit me right now. But I think Anderson's he's too well rounded, and Diaz, I don't see them improving as fighters, I mean, it's going to be an awesome fight, but I just see, I'm hoping Anderson gets a win and back to his normal self. But you've also got to take in that he's coming back, and it's MMA, anything can happen, so the both of them have got chances.
And then let's look at some of the ladies, and we'll stay out of your weight class. But you know, Kat Zingano and Ronda Rousey, that's a fight that's got people very excited. And for the first time, a real sense that Kat might bring something to the table that's an issue for Ronda. How do you see that fight? Or again, they're the girls, and they're not my weight class, so I don't watch.
I see that like Ronda's just above the whole division, you know, and as an athlete and a professional, she just keeps getting better, and I just don't see anyone in the division giving her any trouble. But then again, it's still MMA, you know, everyone's got a chance, but every time I'm always impressed with her, and she's a great champion, and I love how she always gets better and she shows different things, and she was always willing to try the different things, so. And she's always got the judo to fall back on, but I love that she even tries, you know.
You've named two champions there, in Jones and in Ronda, that are really divide an audience. You know, there's a lot of haters. Whether that's because we don't like winners, I don't know. Is there something to that? Do you think once you get to that level, you're never going to please everybody? You know, I'm going to say when you're world champion, there's going to be some people going, oh, but we've never seen her wrestle. Is that sort of thing ever going to bother you? Or is it just part and parcel of being successful, and other people are just a little bit jealous?
Yeah, you're saying it being for the champions, you know, it's not even at the highest level, it's even when you're just starting off, but you've got haters. It's just how you deal with it, and you know, I've got too much positive to think about. This positive support, so yeah, you always get haters, and you always get people on the computer saying, oh, I want to see her doing this, and you can't please everyone.
You know, if you could send them, and we spoke to a couple of fighters who are real passionate about the fact that these people say things that, you know, hurt. You're a human being at the end of the day as well, and there's only so many times you can hear or read something negative. For that guy sitting, you know, at his keyboard, you got as a fighter, you got a message for him. You know, is it a case of, you know, put up or shut up? You know, what do you think of these people?
My message: fuck you.
And we'll end it there. Look, Joe, we always appreciate your time, and we always end with the same question. Before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Any sponsors you'd like to thank, or anybody you'd like to give a message to?
Thanks for the interview, guys. You are always so, yeah, you're blushing.
I know. Because I get them. I'll be honest, it's because when that camera goes off, everyone will take the mic. They'll be like, oh, you looked at Joe, and she's your favorite, and you've got it. I get to do it, and you don't. Sorry.
So we better end this before we get chucked it. Yeah. So my sponsors, good job I wore this hoodie. My Wonderful. Physio Effect, my massage and physio guy, Fresh Food Guru, he sends me my meat, which doesn't always send good sound. I
knew exactly what you meant by that. Protein, right? Yeah. It's
always protein. And manual management, my assistant Kevin.
Kevin, come on in. You come in and say hello, because you've been keeping your eye on us the whole time. We hope we haven't done anything to upset you, but if you want to give the wave to... And who is Kevin? Seriously, who is Kevin to you?
This is Thomas, his son. He's my manager's little boy.
And you keep an eye on Joe, do you?
Yeah,
do you keep like the annoying fans away?
Yeah.
You haven't done a good job here, mate, so I'll let her go very, very quickly. Thank you so much. Sorry, and anybody else, Joe?
No, just thanks and hi to everyone back home. I'll be back Monday morning, back to training as usual.
Ms. Calderwood, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you work again, and I certainly can't wait to see that moment you get to walk out in Glasgow and compete for that world title. Thanks for your time.
Me neither.